What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Michigan Football Unfiltered Show. I'm Dominique, and we are going to be talking everything Michigan. We are going to start out with this game versus New Mexico because there is a lot of good that I saw. And we're going to start with, obviously, the biggest question, right? This was Bryce Underwood's debut. 18 years old, man. He just turned 18 years old. This kid is the truth. And I know you'll have rival fans out there saying, "Oh, it was New Mexico, blah 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 blah." I don't care. I don't care if he was playing sevens. You can tell when somebody has got it, right? You saw how that ball came off his hand, and I'll tell you what. I know you'll have that team down south talking about their quarterback. Guess what? $120 and a touchdown. That ain't nothing, man. That ain't nothing. And I'm sorry to say it, but you can tell who got it and who don't. And I'll tell you what, Bryce Underwood got it. And next week against Oklahoma, that'll be the litmus test. I understand it, right? But I'll tell you what, just from what I saw, again, I don't care if they was playing sevens. The way that thing came off his hand, boy, I'll tell you what. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but he threw that thing with so much velocity that he threw it. It seemed like the cameraman couldn't even keep up with it, right? It was crazy. I didn't even see it fly across the screen half the time. It was just all of a sudden in the receiver's hands. That dude has an absolute cannon. And I know there's going to be talk about, he needs to learn how to throttle it back. I thought he did well. Like, considering the circumstances, man, when he needed to have some touch on the ball, he had some touch on the ball. That touchdown decline, man, he had great touch on it. When he needed to, he did. So that lets me know that he has what it takes. And I'll tell you what, I didn't see that from, back in the day, Joe Milton. That dude it was rocket all the time. I saw no touch out of that. And I'll be honest, man, I haven't seen this kind of quarterback play. I'm so hype about this, man. I don't think you guys understand. And I think what a lot of people forget that maybe didn't watch Michigan in the past, last year, man, we couldn't complete a damn bubble screen against Fresno State the first game. Like, it was bad. And guess what? We still beat Ohio State. We still beat Alabama. We couldn't even throw a forward pass. So, you know what? That we have the world in front of us right now, and I am so encouraged by what I've seen. Because you know what? Yeah, it was New Mexico, but he could have easily, 18-year-old kid got overwhelmed. He could have easily let 100,000 fans get into his head. You know what I mean? Like that's you go out there play in front of 100,000 people. You're gonna have some jitters. You're gonna have, you're gonna be a little bit nervous, right? If you mess up, you got over 100,000 people watching that. And he didn't flinch, man. He did not flinch. So say what you want to say. That boy got it, man. And I'm excited to see what he's gonna do next week. Yeah, it's gonna be tougher, obviously. But I'll tell you what, man, if he can build on what he just did, the sky is the limit for us. He went 21 for 31. Right? This is still New Mexico. They're still a Division I team. They're still a Division I team, and 21 for 31. And it could have been better. He had a few drops from these receivers. He had just about 68% of his passes completed. Could have easily been in the 70s. So I'll tell you what, a QBR of 146.40, that ain't nothing to sneeze at. I don't care who you are. I do not care who you are. Now let's get to the running back situation. Justice Haynes, man, that's a guy. He impressed me. He definitely impressed me. One thing I was a little bit concerned about, and I know it's been a kind of a talking point all through last year and then into the offseason, was our offensive line play. It was a bit shaky at times. Again, these things take time to sort out, though. you have some new people on the line, getting familiar with each other, how to call out certain things and all that stuff. So I think they'll get it together. I don't really have too much of a concern about that. But when we didn't break a long run, it did seem like a struggle at times running the ball. I would have liked to see a little bit more out of that, but man, I'll tell you what, you can't complain with 159 yards rushing on 16 carries. I mean, it's impressive. That man, he's built for the moment. And again, he played at Bama too. You know what I mean? So he knows what it takes. But I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed with Marlin Klein, the German, from Germany. And I was wondering, with Colston Loveland, heading into the NFL, I was wondering how who we were going to replace him with. And boy, I think we found our guy. He was very impressive. And the one surprise player on the defense that I know I wasn't really expecting anything from was Mason Curtis, man. He showed up in a big way. I think he was the second or third leading tackler on the team for the game. He balled out. We have so much depth. That has, I know they were talking about the depth and all that stuff, but once you actually see it, then there were times, don't get me wrong, where I thought we really missed, Mason Graham up in the middle of the line. It seemed like there were times where they were moving us a little bit more than they should have, but I'll tell you what, man, we are very deep, and we played fast. The defense played fast. Yeah, we gave up a little bit more than probably we should have, but boy, you can tell the speed difference by a mile. Man, I'll tell you what, man, we have so much ahead of us. Don't listen to what any of these other trolls be saying, because and I talked to one of the Michigan players earlier this year, and I asked him about, Bryce. I asked him about the team, and he told me, he's like, man, and this was, they were kind of in spring ball at the time. He's like, I did not expect him to be this good that fast. Like he said, we are going to, this is his quote, we are going to be nice. And, I had my reservations, because we were just losing so much, but I see it. That first game, let me see it, man. I'm very impressed. Very, very impressed. And with that being said, man, I want to get to my MVPs of the game. I call them the dogs. So let's go with the offensive dog of the game. The offensive dog for the game is obviously going to be Justice Haynes. He is an absolute dog. All right, like I said, 159 on 16 carries. You can't beat that. I was thinking about giving it to Bryce just because of the circumstances, but man, he showed up. And Marlin Klein was in contention for it too, man. But Justice Haynes is definitely coming out with the dog of the game. For defense, I'm going with Ernest Hausman. Led the team in tackles, looked amazing all night. He is getting my defensive dog of the game, and man, whew, but there's so many players you could give it to, honestly. And then my main dog of the game is also going to be going to Justice Haynes. He was absolutely a menace last night, and man, I can't say it enough, man. I'm so hyped. I don't think you guys understand how hyped I am for this season, man. I can't wait for next week and what we're going to do in Norman, Oklahoma. And some things I want to talk about. The officiating, I'll say, because, again, I see it, on Twitter and everything about how the officiating was bad, and it was. It was terrible. There's no excuse. It's no excuse, but, man, on one drive, they kept them in it. They kept them in the game. So, in my opinion, man, the score doesn't even reflect kind of how we beat them. I don't know what was going on. And at the very least, that incomplete pass that they counted as a complete pass, that should have at the very least been buzzed down to take a second look at it. For whatever reason, they decided against it. I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but whatever. And we at the end of the day we got the win, but those refs, man, it's bad. It was bad. They didn't call. It didn't seem like anything on New Mexico, but boy, when they had a chance to call us for anything, they was taking that chance. That's for sure. But that's the game, right? We got out of there with a win, but I'll tell you what, and Barham, he got screwed over. And I don't know what the rule is for appealing that hit, but that wasn't targeting to me. You very clearly, he never led with the crown of his helmet. Yeah, he hit him a little high. It probably should have been roughing the passer at the very least, but at no point did I think that was targeting. At no point. I mean, but maybe it's my bias. I know the team down south, they're obviously going to say otherwise, but I think the overall consensus with unbiased people as well is that shouldn't have been no targeting call. He had every right to be as upset as he was, man. I feel bad for the kid, man. Like, you're taking time away from him for nothing. And can we just agree that is the worst rule in college football? One targeting penalty and you're out for the whole game. You get disqualified. That's insane to me. That's insane to me. I understand maybe, hey, if you have two, because I mean some of these things are so accidental, man. Or maybe, hey, you can tell if somebody did something on purpose or whatever. I get it, yeah, we safety, blah 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 blah. But come on, man, you're taking this away. Like, these kids, man, like, they're not trying to be out there hurting nobody, man. They're trying to just go play. They're trying to play for an NFL contract. They're playing for a lot of things, man. And when you're aggressive, when you play an aggressive sport, like, sometimes you're gonna hit people a little bit higher than you want to, right? Like, man, that whole thing that makes me mad, man, because now you're taking minutes away from this kid who doesn't deserve it at all. Refs, yeah, they were bad. It just is what it is. Hopefully, we don't have to deal with that crew anymore. But if we do, we just gonna have to figure it out, man. Hopefully, it's not for a big game. We have to deal with them. What else? What else should we talk about? Well, I think that's it. I think that's a good first episode here. Again, please like, subscribe. This is my debut episode. We're gonna be talking everything. And again, we ain't backing down from no rivals. We ain't doing none of that stuff. We're gonna talk unfiltered, how it is, how I see it, my analysis, all that stuff throughout the whole season. So if you love Michigan football, you love football period, Big Ten, let's join me on this journey and let's get to it. I'll see you on the next one.